If I'm looking for things to be grateful for all day and then writing them down, the day seems different to me, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So like I'm like looking for something to be grateful for instead of something to be like annoyed about.
What is the perfect bite? That mix of flavors, textures, colors, and aromas that come together in one amazing amuse-bouche. Big ideas expressed in small bites. That's our podcast, a variety of inspiring topics to make your financial goals and dreams a reality.
Brought to you by Clark County Credit Union for your weekly serving of food reviews, financial education, and life hacks that your future self will appreciate. It's the perfect bite of interesting information to start your week. Welcome to episode 75 of The Perfect Bite. I'm Crystal Price.
And I'm Shannon Hiller. Let's dig in. We love trying new dishes here at The Perfect Bite, and this week we're talking about Olé Churros. As you know, every fifth episode, we usually have a special guest. So this is our 75th episode, but this time we're doing something a little bit different. We're talking about some of the advice that we ourselves have implemented in our own lives over the course of the podcast.
So each week on The Perfect Bite, we'll visit a locally owned Southern Nevada restaurant that we hope will become your new favorite. And I think this week we have found it. We're talking about Olé Churros. And who doesn't love a churro?
So true.
So this is not your traditional restaurant. It's a kiosk-like building in Town Square. So if you've ever gone through their outdoor walking, indoor shops, and then along the way, there's several different kiosks. You might be able to buy like keychains, things like that. Well, this one sells churros. And their tagline of the business is a taste of Spain. So the owners are from Spain. They're two Spaniards, and they wanted to bring an authentic Spanish churro to Las Vegas. And I love that. Thank you. So they wanted to bring it with all their traditional flavors and their history. And so to accomplish this, the products that are used to make the churros are imported from Alicante, which is where they're from, and also the machinery. So this is very, very authentic. I really love this place because first, the churros are delicious, but also it's a great place to really just stop by and get a summer treat. And then it's even awesome in the wintertime when it's a little bit chilly out to get a nice warm treat and even have like a hot drink to accompany it.
So you know I got to travel in Spain.
Oh, did you?
For like
That's
6
right.
weeks when I was younger. And I have not been to this place yet, but I'm very excited because churros and chocolate in Spain are like breakfast. Like it's just a normal
like
thing.
New York bagels.
Yeah,
They've got like
exactly.
Spain churros.
Very common thing to like go get. And I don't know if you tried the hot chocolate, but it's like thick.
Oh no.
It's very thick. Like it's almost like a dipping. Like it's like you can drink it too, but it's super thick.
Dip your churros into it?
Yes.
Okay.
Very
I love
different than what you would expect. And yeah, these are not your Costco churros, people.
And
like
the weather is changing.
Delicious.
Holiday shopping. I will be there with a chocolate.
Okay.
So when I did go, it was a couple months ago. So it was summertime, heat of the day. I ordered the soft serve with churros. So it's two churros that are shaped, they look like almost like horseshoes that were dipped into a cup of soft serve vanilla ice cream. And then I added caramel. It was like the best thing ever. Warm churros, soft serve vanilla, perfect way to end a night. And that's all they have is the churros, and they make it fresh inside this kiosk. So when you look inside, you see like the people with the rolls of dough, and they're dipping it in. You see the heat of the oil coming out of the building. It's very much an experience that you feel very much a part of, and you can get to see them make your churros.
It? Like, where do I park? Where do I go?
So for parking in Town Square, you know where the Whole Foods is. It's facing Las Vegas Boulevard. You could literally park in the Whole Foods parking lot. Come on down that walkway. There's an AT&T there. Keep going past the AT&T, and once you come in towards like the greenery in the plaza area, it's right there. Okay. And it's the last one on the end. There, I believe, were like 3 different kiosks, and one of them had like fair food. What are those?
Like by the playground area?
Not quite there. It is by the grass. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, next to Burrito.
Yes, okay. It's next to Burrito. Okay. So if you go right over there, it's the kiosk at the end, and you're at Olé Churros.
Okay.
Taste of Spain. So what I'll order next time is their dipping sauces. So they have a variety of flavors. You mentioned chocolate. Well, they've got dipping sauces that include Nutella, Spanish hot chocolate, Bavarian cream, and dulce de leche. So I want to try those, maybe with a 3-pack of churros that I will eat all by myself because I love them. But my recommendation for you all out there, if you go, hopefully if you're going with more than 2 people and you're planning to kind of sit down and enjoy your churros, have one person order their food or wait for the food order while the other person goes and scopes out a place to sit. Town Square can get pretty busy, so there's not very much seating. It's outdoor seating. So have somebody scope out, find you a place to sit while you wait for the food, and then you'll enjoy your churros. Or if you're brave enough to walk and talk and shop, just enjoy it on your walk. And if you have a recommendation out there for a restaurant or a dish for us to try, send us a message at theperfectbite@ccculv.com. We're always open to new ideas. Over the last 74 episodes, we've shared a lot of financial advice and future self-advice. Today, we're sharing the things that we've tried ourselves.
So like we said, normally we have a guest since this is our 75th episode and we have a guest every 5th episode. But today we're sharing our own stories taken from the podcast we've shared from our listeners, and we'd love to hear from you if you've tried any of these or other ones that have stood out to you that you've implemented in your life. So, Crystal, what have you implemented?
Taking it back to episode 2.
Oh, yeah. Way back.
The staycation and the vacation deals. When we started the podcast, it was like the beginning or in the middle of the pandemic, and there was like not as much travel, but we shared ideas on how to save money. Some of the things that we recommended doing was to sign up for email lists. So I've done that. Getting deals and coupons, downloading the apps. So I've downloaded apps like Groupon, Hotels.com, Hopper. I've joined the email list for things like rental car places, cruises. Even though I have not taken a cruise yet, I am on that list. I'm getting the notifications of upcoming deals. And so I'm just keeping my eyes open. But I've used some of these things in addition to the credit union CU Travel to get deals on my hotel rooms, to get deals on experiences like through Groupon. I did a trip to Big Bear a couple months back and found a huge deal on kayaks for the family. And I've mentioned before, I've got a lot of kids. So it was nice to save all that money. Hopper let me know airfare. We did another trip the year before. And again, I've got all these kids, so I needed to find the best deal on when was the best time to buy the perfect plane ticket for our destination. So I've implemented that, and I will continue until I die.
Awesome. So back in episode 10, we had a guest, Josh Haldeman, our chief lending officer here at the credit union. And he talked about how he teaches his kids to be responsible with money and how to not raise entitled children. And in that episode, we shared a book that he references. But I have implemented his system with my kids. I have 4 kids, and it's had mixed results. I will say we're learning and tweaking as we go along. But basically, the gist was that the kids are given an allotment of money that they're now responsible for their expenses, things that they need to buy.
Toothpaste,
so like exactly, if they want the special mascara, they have to buy it. If they want to go to a birthday party and there's a gift, they have to buy the gift out of that money. And so the thing that's been the difference in how it's been working is my younger kids don't have a debit card yet, and my older 2 do.
Okay.
So they have that immediate access to the funds.
Yeah.
So the younger kids just don't spend as much money. They weren't given as much, but the older kids, where we are now is like, it's on me to not give in and let that life lesson be made. So basically, I'm out of money. So-and-so's having a party.
Do they get a loan, or do you just gift it?
Right. So that's the part. My husband says I'm being too soft with it, and that I need to be like, nope, you're out of your money. So the thing that's been good about it is I'll say, well, you can use your own money for that.
Yeah.
So for example, a friend invited my daughter to a birthday party, a 16th birthday party in Knott's Berry Farm.
Oh, wow.
And they're renting a charter bus
Okay.
to go down there with a big group. And it was going to be $150 per person.
Oh,
I'm like,
okay.
well, that sounds super fun. You can totally go.
Do you have money?
Yeah. So I didn't have to say no. I said, yeah, that's great, because it's like the first Monday of winter break. If you want to go, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
You should have saved that money, right?
Oh, man.
And no, she does not have that money, so she can't go.
Life lesson.
Yeah. So it's been okay, because some of the other kids don't have money either. I think if all the friends were going, she'd be like pushing me more, but she's like, yeah, no, I don't have the money. Sorry, I can't come. So it takes it away from me being like the bad guy, but like, you bought all of those energy drinks at 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
Wow. $7 a pop adds up, when you're shopping and going and getting whatever. So talking about putting off the immediate gratification for the long-term thing, like saving, that's been the good discussions that we've been having. So I will say we're not yet at Josh's level, I guess, of doing this, but it's been good and it's been better than what we were doing before.
I like that. I feel like I should try it now. You've like co-signed on his statements.
Yeah.
So I need to try it.
Another thing that I've started doing from episode 41, which talked about creating a gratitude letter, I took it a little bit differently. I have started back doing a gratitude journal.
Oh, cool.
That I used to do a long time ago, where I try to just write down 2 or 3 things every day that came to my mind that I was grateful for. We're thinking about Thanksgiving, we're thinking about the holidays, and it's just a good time to maybe revisit that idea. But I think that things that you look for, you find. And so if I'm looking for things to be grateful for all day and then writing them down, the day seems different to me, if that makes sense. So like I'm like looking for something to be grateful for instead of something to be like annoyed about.
Yeah.
Which might be my natural tendency, honestly, to be annoyed. But yeah, so I'm like, oh, that was a beautiful sunrise, or wow, my kids got themselves up today. Like I wouldn't normally think that was something to be grateful for, but more like that's what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And so it just kind of changes the tone of the day for me. And I genuinely think it does make me feel happier. So episode 41.
And I believe we will have a photo on our Instagram of Shannon and her book.
I'll share my gratitude journal. It is nothing fancy. It's literally from the Dollar Tree. It's not even $1 anymore. It's like $1.25 now.
Yeah.
Inflation, but very simple spiral notebook. I leave it at my desk for work. Out of sight, out of mind, right? So I keep it somewhere visible, and then I just see that notebook and I jot it down.
I like it. Another one that I've done was from episode 27, dealing with inflation, and that was to continue investing. So we advise that despite rising costs, we should keep on investing. And I'm gonna be very honest that I've been tempted to be like, okay, I don't think I can invest. I think I was at like 7% contribution. Something like that.
Which is really good.
Yeah,
right?
It was really good. And so I was like, well, maybe I could take it down a little bit, help a little bit, but I'm not going to stop investing. I still need to have that continuous amount of money going towards that 401k, because whether prices continue to rise or prices maintain the same, I'm still going to be retiring, at 65 and a half or whatever, and I still am going to need that money. So I've continued investing. And then also in that episode, another way to deal with inflation we mentioned was to reevaluate our expenses, cut out things that you don't use all the time. I mentioned it not on the podcast, but just in conversation with you, Shannon, recently, that I've taken out some of my streaming services because I don't watch Disney Plus all the time. I'm a Marvel fan, so when they've got their Marvel stuff, I'm watching that, but that doesn't happen all the time. So I've cut some of those things out. Another thing that I've done is to become more efficient with my groceries. I'm using apps like the Target app and the Fetch app. So Target, this is something I just literally over the past weekend realized, they have got their circle group, and so you can get like discount coupons, manufacturer coupons. If you've got the red card, which I've got, and it's linked to my debit card, I get 5% discount on all that stuff. So I'm saving money that way. On my most recent visit, I got a $15 gift card for spending so much money on household like laundry detergent. So I'm like, I need that. So I got my gift card. Plus I saved an additional $11 from their coupon. So I'm like, awesome. I'm doing great. And then Fetch is cool. If any of you know about this one, you basically scan in all of your receipts that you get, whether it's groceries, clothing, fast food, whatever it is, you scan it in and you get points. And then you can redeem those points for gift cards, and you can redeem it for like gas gift cards, future groceries.
So you've already spent the money and you have the receipt.
And you get points.
Just scan it in.
Yes. Yes, free money.
That one.
I'm sure they're doing research on me. They know my shopping habits, but that's okay. Use it. Use it and do good.
That one. I'll check that out.
Yeah, so they're very, very worthwhile, and I love those. Before we finish our list, though, we're going to take a break and hear from our sponsor.
Clark County Credit Union members have received more than $73 million in bonus dividends since 2001 just for using the credit union services they need every day. Since CCCU is owned by our account holders, they earn the dividend, not shareholders. This year, we returned a $2.6 million bonus dividend to members with auto loans, includes credit cards and checking accounts. Open an account today and start earning your own bonus dividend. Funds privately insured by American Share Insurance.
All right, so we're covering things that we've taken into our lives, life hacks that we've actually applied from the podcast, and one from episode 58, why you shouldn't hit the snooze button. I am not snoozing anymore, Crystal.
Woohoo!
No more snoozing. I just set my alarm later, and I'm like, get up. Like, my daughter is doing this, and I have told her all about the podcast, what we talked about. She gets up literally at 6, or her alarm starts going off at 6, and she doesn't get up till like almost 6:45.
Oh my gosh.
It's so annoying. And you like hear the alarm going off, and I'm
multiple times.
this is disrupting your sleep and your circadian rhythm. Like, I'm trying to tell her all the stuff that we learned about with the research that we shared in that episode. But the other one is avoiding blue light when possible before bed. And I have a really hard time with the 1 hour that we had suggested.
Cutting it off. Mm-hmm.
But I am trying to do like 30 minutes before bed. And I do think it's helpful because for me in general, that means I'm not looking at something that's like stimulating my brain anyway. So like not even the light, but the content too, because I'll just lay there and like think. So what about you? Are you snoozing?
I am not snoozing. I kind of similar to you. I just adjusted my clock. Like, what time am I actually going to wake up?
Right.
Like, I would love to wake up 15 minutes earlier, but it's not going to happen. So instead of snoozing, waking up, disrupting my sleep, I just set it a little bit later and wake up.
I think learning that it just wasn't good quality sleep anyway.
Yeah.
Like, why are you doing that?
And you know,
just
something
like sleep.
I've noticed too is that honestly, my body has become adjusted to waking up. So a lot of times I'll just naturally wake up and I look at my clock and like, oh, my alarm's going to go off in 2 minutes. Let's just get up. And so it's been
cool?
nice. Yeah.
It's interesting how we can do that, right? The next episode after that, episode 59, we talked about bad kitchen habits we learned from Mom. Sorry, Mom. That we should stop doing. And one of them that stood out to us is washing your chicken. And that there was like a 10-foot radius of like salmonella that was spread when you put that stream of water on your chicken. It just goes everywhere.
That invisible spray.
Yeah. So every time I'm like, no, don't do it. So like I will drain it in the sink or something like that. But I'm trying not to wash it. But I'm going to guess that's not something you were working on.
I've always washed my chicken, and so that episode was eye-opening, and I try to not, but there are some days when I'm just like, I just really need to wash my chicken. We're trying.
It's okay. There was another one about putting away food and putting it in the fridge.
Not letting it sit on the counter.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I have been trying to do that too, even though our friends at MB Energy want us not to do that because it increases the internal temperature of our refrigerator. So if I have rice, I'll just put it in my container and put it in the fridge. And
yep, same here. That is something that I've implemented also.
Excellent.
Another one that I had was episode 33, being happier at work. We've been doing this hybrid schedule, but recently we've been coming in, I feel like a little bit more. And so some things that I've done in my space now is just bought in some new plants. So I've got some greenery in there. I love the greenery. I've got some fake flowers, bringing fun little knickknacks from home just to decorate like on the computer stand really just kind of like brightens up the area and just kind of makes me just feel good. So I will continue to do that and kind of like swapping it out too, because I think for me anyways, I will sometimes get used to my surroundings and it'll just kind of like become noise. So just mixing it up and keeping the things fresh is something that I intend to do. Even getting like just fun notebooks and pens and just those little things make a huge difference.
Yeah, I love notebooks and pens. That's my love language. So I think it does help you. If you feel more creative, you might feel more energized. You come into a space that feels comfortable and almost inspiring. It's good.
Yeah. And another one that I had was episode 44 was to break free of autopilot and find inspiration. One way that I was doing and I still continue to do is morning walks. And I just need that to like start my day. Whether I'm running late or not, I'm like, okay, I just, reduce maybe the length of my walk for the morning. But when I get out there, literally as soon as I step outside of my door, I just feel good. I feel energized. I hear the birds singing, I might hear some wind, the leaves rustling now that the weather is changing, things like that. It just really changes my whole mood for the day, for the morning. So I love that. And I'm going to continue to do that one.
All right, in episode 70, we did that recently. Try hard, but not too hard, and shoot for 80%. I felt like that was so freeing to think about that as a failed perfectionist that I am, thinking about how to apply that to my life and even to my own kids and their homework. Sometimes there's so much going on, and I have one of my daughters that really wants to do everything, 100% if she can, but now we've procrastinated maybe. And I'm like, you know what? Shoot for B work here. We're okay to get a B on this. Like, let's just get it done. Done is better than not. Like, let's just finish it. And so just talking to them about not letting that perfection keep us from accomplishing, just the basic things. And so it's kind of, again, being like a release of like, this is good enough. Like, it's fine. And, if you want to get all A's, that's great, or whatever it is you're doing. But I'm like, the kitchen is mostly clean. I'm good. 80-20 rule. Like, I'm just going to go for it.
That's like a good way to like think of it for yourself too. Like, how would you want your mother to tell you to, perform? Like, are they going to be like, you need to be 100% all the time? No, your mom will be like, okay, 80%. And so tell yourself that just like you would your own kids.
Yep. I think we have a lot of great tips and tricks, money hacks, and even stories that we've shared over these episodes. Hopefully you can go back and look as well and see if there's something that helped you with your finances or your future self. And we'd love to hear from you.
We want to hear from you. Send us your financial questions or money topics that you'd like to learn more about, and don't forget any fun local food recommendations. Our email is theperfectbite@ccculv.com.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode, brought to you by Clark County Credit Union. For additional money management tips and financial calculators, check out our website at ccculv.org. Now that was the perfect bite.